Had them.
We're live. All right. Let's reconfirm. Good evening, beautiful people.
Hey,
I-
hey.
It is Friday.
Mhm.
Just checking all connections to see that we are live. Waiting for that notification to come through. All right, we are on Facebook. I'm just checking Instagram to make sure that we are live. Hope everybody is having a great day.
Mhm. Today's topic is going to be very, very interesting today.
Yes, ma'am. Let's talk a little bit about that. So, Keisha, what is today's topic?
It's cheating.
You know, cheating.
Oh yeah.
That's an interesting topic. It can get quite crazy, a little
Oh
bit
yeah.
hairy.
Everybody's been through it. I can't imagine anybody who hasn't. I don't care if you Beyonce, J Lo, Halle Berry. You must have
Exactly.
been through it.
Exactly. You listen. We've all had some instance of cheating. Whether you were the cheater or you were cheated on. I mean, it. Uh, Everyone can weigh in on this topic in some fashion. You know what I'm saying? So, um, we're going to get into some statistics on this topic. We might talk of our own opinions and occurrences, and
Mm-hmm.
we want to hear from you. Like, we want to hear what you guys have to say. I know somebody has to weigh in on this topic?
Oh yeah.
So, I guess we should start with some of the statistics, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good evening, ladies. Good evening. Hey, Diane. Hello, beautiful ladies. Um, so I have lots of notes that I've taken because I never want to just talk out of blue air, the thin blue air. I have a whole lot of my own opinion, but it's not all about my opinion. I need to make sure that we have facts about certain topics that we bring up, right? Because,
Mm-hmm.
um, you know, my opinion really doesn't count. Your
Does.
opinion might not count, but as a collective group,
Mm.
counts. So let's have a voice tonight, right? So Keisha, you and I talked about this, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
cheating, again, everyone has had some form of contact with this, whether you knew a friend or literally it was just you yourself. I went ahead and looked online and I found out that there's the top 10 countries that have the highest infidelity rate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, where do you think the US placed on this top 10 list? We didn't. Funny, but the US didn't even make it to the top 10 list, which I guess that's a good thing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's infidelities going on, but clearly not as much as in the rest of the world. Um, Believe it or not, Thailand has the highest infidelity rate, 56% that admitted. We'll say that. So maybe the U.S. is just keeping it under wraps, and nobody wants to admit that they did this.
Lying.
Girl, because I know a lot of people that have
Oh yeah.
definitely been involved in this. Oh man. I want to say hello to Thomas and Natoya. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, hey, hey.
So, I went ahead and I got some statistics, right? What are my sources that I'm going to be calling out these statistics?
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the General Social Survey, Outlook Magazine, and I looked at the Institute for Family Studies.
Mm-hmm.
And I also took a look at the LA Intelligence Detective Agency, right? I mean, let's think about this. How many people have probably hired, you know, a PI to
Mm-hmm.
find out if their significant other is cheating? Didn't MTV have a show that was just all about cheating? And they had people who came out with the cameras and everything was like, we got you, bitch. You know, like, you know, um, so again, I went ahead and got some of these statistics.
Mm-hmm.
Keisha, I believe that you checked out a few sources yourself. I'm not sure. I know we were sharing notes.
Yeah, I was interested in the polygamy part because one was interested in how many people are in polygamous relationships.
Mm,
Openly cheating, but I guess it's not openly cheating if you're agreeing with it.
yeah,
So
you're
that's
just
like another
really
question too.
active.
Yeah. And it says approximately 2 million people in the US is a part of polygamous relationships.
Wow,
Which shocked me because
that's
you would think it's very small, maybe couple of 100,000 or 100,000, but 2 million
yeah,
people. You
that's a
know,
lot. That's a lot of people.
oh
Two,
yeah,
like that's probably most of New York. New York and California, we're done. Oh boy. I want to touch on the comments. Thomas says, I am faithful, just looking for an honest lady. I feel you, Thomas. I feel
hmm
you. Cheating is bad. Yeah, I mean, that goes with the discussion. We said it earlier today, Keisha. Why are people not just more open about this?
oh yeah,
Say what you want. Think
hmm
you might get it.
oh yeah.
Diane says, I've been on both sides of the coin. I did cheat once. Once I got cheated on and felt the burn, I never cheated again.
Oh wow.
I feel that. I
Oh
feel that. Sometimes you do things
yeah.
not really understanding how you're making the next person feel.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you've become the victim, it's like, what do you mean? Like,
Hmm.
yeah. Some people learn.
Oh
There's
yeah.
a lot of people who just keep continuing to do the same thing over and over. Why? And that's kind of like the nitty-gritty that we want to get to tonight. So
Mhm.
please comment, share your thoughts because we're curious.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, why? Why do people cheat? What makes people want to step outside of their supposed
Hmm.
happy relationship? If you're not happy,
Hmm.
why not just leave? Why
Hmm.
not go find that person that makes you happy? You know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thomas says, yes, they did. Cheaters. And then he says, my friend got caught and I ended up in the middle of drama. Mm. How
Ooh.
many of us have had a friend that brought us in on their cheating escapades?
Mhm.
You get that late night call from the significant other, and they're like, "Hey, is so and so there? I know you guys are there, doing so and so," and you're just like, you're sleeping, and you're like, "Oh my god, where is this girl at? What is she doing? And why did she not tell me about it?"
Oh yeah. That alibi.
Girl, I mean, if you're gonna cheat, definitely come up with the story and hit up your friends and let them know the story.
Yeah.
Don't get caught out there.
I'm trying to figure out, is it just the a selfishness thing?
Hmm.
Um, I sometimes think it's a difference between males and females cheating.
Mm.
Males cheat more physical, and because I guess sometimes they can
Yeah.
for selfish reasons. Not to saying that females don't either, But a
Yeah,
lot of times you have a female cheating, it's more because of an emotional or lack of an emotional presence within her relationship.
correct.
So, you know, if anybody can answer that, males or females, any males out there want to say, why do males cheat?
Mm,
You know?
yes, yes. I would say that when I was looking through these articles,
Mhm,
um, they were basically saying that, and I'll quote this. It says in this article, it said men are more prone to casual and opportunistic cheating, which plays a big part in why they get caught. Infidelity for many men is evidence of recklessness.
mhm,
And then on the flip, it quotes, for women, however, cheating may be evidence of a more thought out plan to
mhm,
address perceived needs. The potential
mhm,
costs of being sexually reckless is otherwise too high.
mhm,
Intimate partner violence, which 1 out of 3 women experiences at some point, is
mhm,
often triggered by infidelity.
mhm,
So, you know, what are the consequences for a male to do the cheating? I mean, unless you got that overly aggressive woman that will stab you, um, like what other consequences are there? Whereas a woman that gets caught cheating gets beat up, and now it's a
mhm,
domestic violence issue.
mhm,
So um, I mean, then you can also probably say society. Society definitely
mhm,
has molded us in that way where it's okay. Like sometimes men just slip up and have a night escapade. And
mhm,
then for women are held, in this motherly state where,
mhm.
God forbid if we have an orgasm. What do you mean? Like it's crazy how the ideal over time has
Oh,
always maintained where the woman is not supposed to be taking part in this
mhm.
action. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Now, do you think males are generational cheaters? Are they taught to cheat, or are
Mm.
they learn to cheat unconsciously? Like, say, if you had a father who, you know, liked the ladies,
Yeah.
and your son watches you and wind up sometimes emulating you,
Mm.
unconsciously. So
Yeah.
now he likes the ladies,
Mm.
and it's okay, if you see dad going, it's okay to talk to many ladies and have a main lady. You
Yeah.
might do it too. You
Mm. I mean, that's a possibility.
Mhm,
I've talked to a few people recently just to get a perspective. I've
mhm,
talked to males and I've talked to females.
mhm,
And I did ask that one question, like, was it witnessing
mhm,
people in your life from a young age
mhm,
cheating and seeing what it was all about? Like, was it something where you idolized it? You saw like this
mhm.
grand life, they were having their cake and eating it too.
Oh yeah.
Um, and you now grew up and wanted to emulate that. And
Mhm,
believe it or not, everyone that I talked to said no, that it wasn't something that they learned. Now, don't get
mhm,
me wrong, there's probably people out there who
mhm,
did have it as a learned behavior.
mhm.
I don't know, you know, um,
Subconsciously, you know,
right? I mean,
because
who's
if
really
you're
going to
seeing
admit
it
to it?
in the open,
Yeah.
somebody must be picking it up, and you're following it. Maybe somebody didn't say, okay, let me sit you down and teach you how to cheat.
Yeah. There are some of those out there. Like, oh, come on, let me fix this for you because you're just messing up.
Oh, yeah. But if it's not hidden and everybody's out there and they say that you're watching, you're learning, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Exactly. We got a bunch of comments that have come in.
Okay.
Let's touch on those. So Diane says that I cheated because I didn't feel like I was getting the attention from the one I was with.
Mhm.
Attention came from another dog, and I fell in the trap. Mm.
Mm.
Sweet talkers, you
You were
know?
vulnerable probably at that time, and dogs could pick it up when you're vulnerable.
Yeah, Yes, they can. I feel like they
Oh
got
yeah.
these little sensors like, oh yeah, that's some easy bait over there.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
you know? Carolina says it's because they want the whole cake, possibly because they are scared of losing that one person. Or,
Mm-hmm.
and then I don't know, did she comment something else? Oh, or it's because they want their, no. Oh, you girl, you put it again. or, or possibly they know the good in one person, but are scared to lose that person, but want to know if there is more out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the saying came from. The grass is not always greener on the other side.
Oh yeah.
There's no perfect relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the idea of a perfect relationship could exist, but you have to give in to some, miscomings. Or what's the word I'm looking for? Not everyone's going to measure up to what your ideal is.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a conversation about that recently with somebody that we have this picture in our head of, your knight in shining armor or, your Beyonce in your life, whatever you
Mm-hmm.
want to ideal her as. But there's no perfect man. There's no perfect woman.
Oh
We
yeah.
find like what we can tolerate.
Mm-hmm.
And uh not everybody's going to measure up. I mean, like, not everyone is going to, caress you or kiss your forehead or,
Mm-hmm.
give you foreplay the way you like it. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
talk it out. you know Maybe a lot of these people are just not having those bedroom conversations that need to be had. You can't expect the other person to just know what you want. You got
Oh
to
yeah.
talk about it. You got to tell
Mm-hmm.
them what you want sometimes.
Do you think sometimes, and this, I've been sitting mulling that over it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's how someone met someone. Like, say for instance, you met a guy and you're chasing him,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, he gives in and y'all finally get together. But
Mm-hmm.
uh most men like to chase. So when you chased him, the satisfaction of him chasing you wasn't there. And he's like, okay, maybe this isn't what I wanted, but I just gave in to her because she was there and I'm just with her for the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out, is it how you get the person sometimes? Does that matter later on down the line about the cheating? Like
Mm.
maybe they how that book say they just wasn't that really into you in
Yeah,
the first place.
girl. Exactly.
And then y'all just made a relationship, got comfortable.
Yeah. You could have just been a flavor of the week and it
Yeah.
was like, oh, okay, maybe we can stay for a while. I'm gonna go
Mm-hmm.
over here too.
Oh yeah.
you know? Um, Glenda says, I think there is a deeper issue when it comes to cheating. It starts with how you feel about yourself and not the person you're cheating on. And I like that
Mm-hmm.
point. That gets to the point of self-esteem. How comfortable are you with yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you don't feel confident in
Mm-hmm.
yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you're probably going to be stuck in your head the whole time of what does this other person perceive you as? How do they
Mm-hmm.
feel about you? And,
Oh yeah.
you're chasing a dream at that point. Like, are you not fulfilling all of the things in your life?
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have to look to the next person to fulfill every dream or aspect in our life. We
Oh
should be
yeah.
comfortable in our own skin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Um, Thomas said, guys, libido makes us active to cheat unless your mindset is proper thoughts, faith. Um, Possibility. I mean, a guy's libido is sometimes more than a woman, but there are stages in a woman's life that her libido's a little bit higher.
Oh yeah. And the man's go down.
you,
you
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 know it.
55, 60 and going strong.
Still
And then
making
like one time a week.
girl, you know. But then you're gonna have, some people who are just addicted to sex and they need to get it every moment of the day. Those exist.
Mm-hmm.
Those people should also be more forthcoming and just be like, yeah, one is not good enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
I need a couple. So those are the people who should be in the polygamy relationships.
Right.
So
So,
just saying.
I wanted to find out what people consider cheating. What's
Hmm.
cheating? Is talking to a neighbor, friendly banter with a neighbor cheating?
Mm.
Is you know, sex? But does some people consider that a cheat or a fling or a mishap?
Yeah, this is a good question.
Mm-hmm.
As we wait for some people to comment on that,
Mm-hmm.
uh, I want to get through some more of these comments because these comments is crazy coming in. Uh, Thomas says television plays a big part. Um, Khalees says that I think it's harder for men to deal with cheating with a cheating woman than vice versa. Um, Diane says, how many men cheat to impress their boys? That's a possibility. Pierre says, oh, stop it, Diane. Do women excuses get a green light and not men?
Hmm.
I'm reading through the lines on that one. I'm just a little bit confused by the way he wrote it. So
I think most of the time men don't express why they cheat.
this is true. They just do it and it's just
Yeah,
like, deal with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
uh, Thomas said, learning how to cheat. Oh, okay. Now I get it. Pierre was saying, why do women's excuses get a green light? I wasn't reading it properly. My fault, Pierre. Um, Khalees said, maybe they're not getting any cake. I'm done. That's true. In some
They went to the
cases,
other side to get the cake.
in some cases, somebody's holding out. Diane says, no, Pierre, absolutely not. I think women cheat because of emotional attachments and addicts. Yeah, sex addicts. I don't think any excuse is a good excuse to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah.
Um, of emotional attachment. Oh, okay, yeah. I read through the lines. Pierre said, can anyone of you women tell me what's the difference between trust and faith? Let's write that down
Mm.
because I want to come back to that, Pierre. I don't want to get away from that topic because I think that's a really good question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for those of you out there that are listening and you feel like you want to weigh in on that, please do so now. We're going to get to your comment. What's the difference between trust and faith?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Thomas said, I got cheated on twice by the wrong women who played games of the mind.
Mm.
Some people do purposely want to just play games. I got
Mm-hmm.
it. Sad people. Pierre said, I hear you, Thomas. Jashika says, if you're not confident, you project that negativity on other folks. Some instances, yes. We have a graph of some statistics on this, so we're going to get to that in just a second.
Uh-huh.
Um, Glenda said, replying to Thomas, it's the internet now. That's another good point that we're going to bring up because social media is the devil sometimes, making it too easy. True,
Yeah, that
Thomas
goes
said.
back to trust and faith.
What's that?
That goes back to trust and faith. But I have some views on trust and faith.
True. Okay, we're going to get to that.
Uh-huh.
Pierre said, of course, the woman's libido can be just as hungry as men. That's why women say, oh, he don't have time for me, even though he's home every day. Not appreciating what you have
Oh
because
yeah.
your libido is all the way up. Some people just want it from everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Porn star. Just saying. Glenda says cheating comes in two forms, mental and physical. It depends on how you want to take it. True. That's a
Mm-hmm.
great point. And Jashika says, replying to Glenda, for men, it's usually physical, and for women, it's definitely mental. I'd probably even say instead of being mental, it's emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I think it's a common fact that women are more in touch with their emotions than most men. Can't
Oh
say
yeah.
all men. Some
Mm-hmm.
men are really in tune with their emotions.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Khalees said, faith is going blindly. Gotta have trust.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, we're gonna touch back on that trust and faith. I want to go back to what Keisha was saying before. Um, she was touching on the point of what is considered cheating,
Mm-hmm.
and I definitely want people to weigh in on that. Please, let us know what you think is considered cheating.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at an article. This article, give me a second because I want to make sure that I shout out the source.
Mm-hmm.
Superdrug Online Doctor. They went ahead and they put this whole chart together. Um, and one part of the chart was comparing Europeans to Americans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what percentage of men and what percentage of women feel that a specific point is considered cheating. Um, the highest ones on here were vaginal intercourse,
Mm-hmm.
oral, anal. I mean, sometimes some people cheat because they wasn't getting any of that. Um, Kissing, heavy petting. Not really too sure what they consider heavy petting. Like, I mean, like, were we groping? Did that what it is that what they're meaning? I don't know. Petting like a dog? I didn't get that part.
Uh-huh.
um,
That's maybe is the high school thing, when it's not the real thing.
we're humping. The dry hump. The dry hump is real. Girl. I think we've all gone through that phase.
Yeah.
And then some points were not as strong, but spooning, cuddling, getting emotionally close, sleeping in the
Mm-hmm.
same bed,
Uh-huh.
hand holding, and going out as friends. Hmm.
Mm.
How do we feel about that going out as friends? I mean, don't most people have a good friend that is the opposite sex and there is no sex involved? It's just
Mm-hmm.
strictly platonic.
I think nothing's wrong with it. You should be able to have a friend that's the opposite sex and have no visions about it. But I think as females, we might think a little bit different about it because
Mm.
males often think that's that pickle in a jar to break open when you want it. Like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm gonna keep this jar here as a friend, and we want to be friends, but I'm just waiting for the right moment to break it open. You know,
Feel
she's
you.
vulnerable when her man cheated on her, and now she's coming on my shoulder to leave.
You know it.
It could go vice versa, but to me,
Yeah.
it's most of the time always up to the female
Mm.
as far as that's concerned with him keeping you at the side. Because if we're friends, I'm not looking at you like that. I
Mm.
don't care if you had me in 20 million different categories and jars.
Yes.
I'm not looking like at you like that. Now, even if I had a vulnerable moment,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I want to keep this friend because they're always there or whatever. But some females be like, I had the vulnerable moment, time to break open the friend jar. He's
Mm.
there, you know.
For real. For real. I'm saving him for a rainy day.
Yeah.
That rainy day has now come. um, Glenda had chimed in before about trust versus faith. So she says the difference is trust is something you place in someone else, and faith is something you hope that the person is going to do the right thing. And Jashika replied to her and said, you hit the nail on the head. I I agree with Glenda's statement.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, trusting someone, I think that's a big um takeaway from when you're involved in a cheating situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you learn to trust again? Can you trust again?
Mm-hmm.
Are you the type of person that could wipe the slate clean and be able to not judge the next person that comes along in your life?
Mm-hmm.
That's a question.
That's a hard one right there.
Yeah, girl.
For
You
me,
know.
it's some people go for loyalty or respect or trust or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for me, loyalty don't stand long.
Mm,
Because of the fact that a lot of people will be loyal to you up until the day they're not.
mm,
It's more so you have to have respect for the other person. Once you respect the other person, then I feel that the cheating and those type of things will subside. Because people could say, "Oh, I'm loyal, I'm faithful, I'm until they meet the next person."
mm.
But when you have respect for the person, you're gonna, to me, think about that person's feelings,
Yeah.
think about the consequences it might bring to your family. Well, if I
Mm,
go cheat with this one and do this,
yeah.
my wife might leave me. My kids ain't gonna be in the home with me.
Yeah.
No. So I have a big thing on respect more so than loyalty,
Mm,
because the loyalty, like Judas was loyal to Jesus,
mm.
and then you see what he did.
Yes, girl.
But the other followers who respected Jesus and what he had to say and what he has done,
Hmm.
they kept following him.
Yeah.
So,
No, I get that.
mhm.
I definitely get that.
uh,
Before I even weigh in on my own, we got some really good comments
mhm.
coming in. You guys are freaking rocking it.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I'm seeing.
Pierre brought up a good point. Do you look for your partner to cheat? Searching pockets, phones, car, etc. Man, I'm a share a personal experience. I was freaking man. I thought I was Matlock or something. Like I was over here checking everything out. Like, girl, I was pulling apart the dresser. I'm like, I know there's something hidden in this sock. Like, but there was something hidden in that sock. I was looking for things, and it was literally there.
But Tina, was that intuition or was that just that you're normal? It had to have been, because I feel women sometimes have this second sense,
It
you know.
became a learned behavior for me
Mm-hmm.
because I walked into that relation. I mean, mind you, I was very young.
Mm-hmm.
This was, you know, late teens, early 20s,
Mm-hmm.
late 20s. That was a really long relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, um, I went into the relationship trusting,
Mm-hmm.
blindly trusting, and that person gave me reasons to not trust, where, like, people came in my ear and was telling me things, and I didn't want to see it at first. But girl, man, I turned into like Inspector Gadget and whatnot, and I might as well have just been hiding in a tree somewhere. Like I was like, bro, I see you. I caught you, but I was still there. Like, just shoot me now. But that's the thing. And I'm going to comment on what Jashika says. She replied to Pierre and said, don't go looking for something you want to find. But if you feel like you have to, trust your gut.
Oh
Something's
yeah.
going on.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Definitely on the trust your gut.
yeah, girl, I learned to trust my gut at that point in time. But like, no one should be living there every day where you feel like you got to inspect everything. Like, are you smelling underwears and stuff? Like, do you got to do the check? Like, your man comes in the door and you're like, let me smell your penis. Like, that's a step too far. You should not be in that relationship. Just saying. But there's people out there like that.
and it goes back to me too, where we say how someone cheats, or
Mm,
what is considered cheating.
yeah.
Um, like there's a lot of females that say a physical cheat is not as bad as an emotional cheat,
Mm,
because the physical, it's like you had a little wham bam, thank you, ma'am. But the emotional is you brought your heart, you brought
mm,
probably stuff that should be coming from out of my home someplace else. You
yes.
know,
For
but when
real.
you emotionally cheat, you're spending more time with someone, you're
Oh, yeah.
investing in someone, you
Yes.
know. And for me, when if you're going to invest in another relationship, maybe you don't need to be in a relationship with the other person,
Correct.
you
Correct.
know.
Either
So
that or
I want
take.
to ask people what do they think is
Mhm.
what's more tolerable? Because a lot of, here's the thing, us women, we say, okay, well, he's gonna cheat on us. Some woman, you cheat once, that's it. But I want to say at least 97% of women is taking
Mhm.
a man back who cheats, which it doesn't happen vice versa. Most of the time,
Yeah.
a woman cheats on a man, that's it.
Yes. That
So,
most of the time, I do know a few men who are, you know, uh,
mhm.
their woman has taken their manhood from them, and they stick around because they don't know any better.
Yeah, and it's like I want to find out who who would stay
Mm-hmm.
um on both a physical and an emotional cheat,
Mm.
and which would you prefer, because you're gonna take this man back anyway. Most nine times out of 10 the lady's taking the man back, but when
Yes.
is enough? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, when have you reached your breaking point? Like, what is the deal breaker that you're like, peace, I'm out now? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know for me at this point in life, because I've gone through that cheating phase,
Mm-hmm.
that cheat is the deal breaker.
Mm-hmm.
You just signed yourself off the lease. We're moving on. I am looking for a new tenant, please. um, I want to go back to the comments really quick. Pierre said, once you are in an established relationship, trust must go out the window. Trust makes you look. Faith is more powerful with an unconditional tag. Having faith, um, trusting is something that you do. Like, it's something that you're giving. Where, as in, faith is more blind,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, sometimes I feel like they have to go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have to be willing to trust that person, but you keep the faith that they're going to be real with you. So I think it has to be a two-parter. You can't have one without the other, because it's not complete. It's not complete. Will you ever give your full self to that person? Glenda says, if your partner has intimate or an emotional connection with someone else, whether through intimate conversation or through sex, if you choose to be committed to someone on any level, you do anything to go against it, then you're cheating. You are cheating the other person the opportunity to change whatever you see is wrong in the relationship. Um, I like that point. Um, I mean, what's your feeling on that, Keisha? What she's saying? What comes to mind where she's saying any step out is cheating?
uh okay, I'm gonna agree with, yes, any step out is cheating,
Mm-hmm.
but although it's cheating, we still allow it.
Mm.
Well, a lot of times, if you're in a marriage, and this is another topic maybe we could hit on later on, sometimes people don't say there's not a difference between being married and unmarried,
Mm.
but paperwork, there's a difference.
Yeah.
You in a relationship and and say, okay, well, we're going to split this and split that, but most of the time people go to court, they ain't fighting over we love each other. When that paperwork is involved, they're
Yes.
fighting for a whole bunch of other stuff when paperwork is involved. Who's gonna be with the kids? Who's gonna do this? Who's gonna do that?
Yeah.
So, um, she is right that it is any stepping out is a cheat,
Mm-hmm.
but some cheats are more accepted than others. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I'll comment on the I guess like a shoulder to lean on.
Mhm.
So on that emotional end, um, I believe that sometimes in a relationship,
Mhm.
if two people are not on the same page, right? One is craving more of something,
Mhm.
whether it's a connection, sex, whatever it is. Who do we call? We usually talk to our best friend,
Oh yeah.
try to get their opinion. Like, am I bugging or is this crazy? Or am I asking for too much? Should I go somewhere else? Should I leave this relationship? Is this the deal
Mhm.
breaker?
Mhm.
And sometimes getting your best friend's opinion, um,
Mhm.
and I'll say best friend of the same sex,
Mhm.
is different than getting the opinion of a friend of the opposite sex. I
Mhm.
mean, sometimes I know me, sometimes I need a male perspective. Like, am I bugging right now or is this
Mhm.
normal?
Mhm.
Do all men feel like this? I feel like sometimes we need the other sex's opinion on
Mhm.
something,
Mhm.
but it's kind of where sometimes we kind of dig our own graves
Mhm.
because there is a point where you're overstepping, right?
Mhm.
You're giving too much information about your relationship.
Mhm.
Um, and now you just open the door to that person
Mhm.
consoling you,
Mhm.
um, comforting you.
Yeah.
And sometimes now they're flirting with you to get you to
Mhm.
laugh. And before you know it, you done cheated. Or, you're thinking of doing it,
Oh yeah.
you're,
Mhm.
you're crossing the line. And I feel like that's where sometimes, again, we just get ourselves in trouble.
Mhm.
I wish there were more outlets that we could, anonymously ask a question like, is this
Mhm.
normal?
Oh yeah.
um, Joshika says, many people haven't healed from their emotional trauma and don't have the ability to trust.
Mm.
Mm, yeah. Um, Sometimes the hurt goes a little bit deeper, you know? Um, Sometimes you have to take a step back. And if you're not willing to trust someone again,
Oh
then
yeah.
maybe there's conversations that you need to have, or
Mhm.
um, get back to yourself, you
Mhm.
know? I don't know. You got to get your own vibe back, figure out who you are,
Mhm.
rebuild your own self-esteem.
Oh yeah. That's a big thing. And once you have that type of thing, sometimes you do need a break to build yourself back up. But
Correct.
a lot of times we don't take that break.
No, no. I
You
mean,
know.
the idea is to be in a relationship, make a family,
Oh yeah.
be married, have someone to comfort you
Mhm.
throughout life. When do we stop to comfort ourselves?
Mhm.
You
And
know?
I think too sometimes, especially for women, finances play a big role in that.
Mm.
Because we like I like to look at J Lo. J Lo changed you like a pair of drawers. you know, and
Yeah.
sometimes you be wondering, and then you look and I've been in situations. I know other females been in situations, and
Hmm.
it's not that easy all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, okay, well, if I do this, this is the consequences. I'm comfortable here. We're comfortable.
Hmm.
Why do something else?
Yeah. Why
You know,
mess it up?
yeah. Why do something else? And a lot of a big changer for some women is he don't beat me. He
Mm,
cheated, but he don't beat me. you know. Now,
exactly.
now somebody beating your butt, maybe it might be a little different story. But
Well,
for some women,
yeah,
and then
exactly.
some women allow being beat and being cheated. Not I'm not going to say allow because that's the wrong thing to say.
I
Uh,
know, but they
it
say,
happens. It can happen.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
I mean, at that point, again, then we get into the whole domestic violence topic,
Mhm.
where that's a whole other topic that I think we should do a show on.
Oh
It's
yeah.
something that needs to be talked about. It needs to be something where people who may be going through it need
Mhm.
to know of the outlets that are available to them.
Oh yeah.
So we'll bring that up in another show.
Hmm.
Um, Glenda replied to Pierre, and she had said never, but I will see a change in behavior. Um, she also stated to Pierre, it always starts, oh, maybe, oh, it always starts with a change of behavior.
Mm.
Um, sometimes, uh, sometimes you notice the change in the relationship.
Hmm.
Um, if your significant other is just miserable looking every single day, and then all of a sudden, 1 week they're just like, hey babe, how you doing today? Like, they got this little pep in their step, or paying a little bit more attention to how they're getting ready. Those are some signs of knowing that something is going on.
Hmm.
um Pierre said, Faith, uh have you not listened to your chick friends and rumors? Only factual behavior. uh Sometimes you have to listen in on what other people are telling you, but it doesn't mean it's golden. Like, um, sometimes your friend might be trying to move in on your man, just saying. Or, your friend is trying to move in on your woman, either way.
Hmm.
Uh, Pierre said, replied to Glenda, you are absolutely right. Uh, is there a God? And how do you know? Faith or trust? Glenda said, again, it's all in how you define your cheating. Again, depends on what you're willing to accept as cheating. So I think those are things that we should really discuss, like at the beginning of a relationship.
Okay, this was gonna say. Hmm.
You know, women have male friends and men
Hmm.
have, female friends.
Hmm.
So I think that line should be drawn in the beginning if you have an issue with your significant other going out with the opposite sex to, have lunch, um, have a few laughs, they meet up, I'm not going to say vacation together, but there are some people that vacation with the opposite sex because they see
Hmm.
nothing wrong with it.
Oh yeah.
I I don't, but somebody does.
Mhm.
But I think these are things that should be brought up at the beginning of a relationship. What do you feel comfortable with and what do you not? You
Right.
know, does anyone stop to like really sort things out, or are we all like just spur of the moment people? We're just living in the moment
Mhm.
and you don't even know what you got yourself into.
That's
I
what
don't
happens
know.
most of the time. And like I see Khalees had mentioned about communication.
Yeah.
Um, but a lot of times when we first meet people, we don't is the representative there.
Yeah.
And once the representative leave, we don't communicate certain things that we need to with the other person. Like, cheating, what would happen if you cheated on me, or
Mm,
you know, um how we live with our kids, just a whole bunch of list of different things that we just don't communicate at the beginning of a relationship. We just go into it,
yeah.
we pick the representative, we brought it, and
Yeah.
then that's it.
Pretty much.
And then
Pretty much.
a lot of times, even when the cheating goes on, you still have that representative that person first presented to you in your head. So when the
Yeah.
cheating goes on, it's almost like you're in a denial. No, I brought this car. I didn't buy the jalopy over here. I brought this car. So this car is supposed to go like this, and they're gonna keep going like this. But meanwhile, you didn't buy that car. You bought a jalopy, and you
Yeah.
told me it was a jalopy,
It was
but
a
you
jalopy with a brand new paint job.
And you just keep going with what was first presented because that's what you wanted, that stayed in your mind, you
Yeah,
know.
that's true. But that's the thing is that these these false masks
Hmm.
are worn. Don't try to impress me by making up some shit. Like, I want to see the real person. Bring that real person to the table, and then let's talk.
But
Uh,
I think we get red flags sometimes, but a lot of times we just ignore it. The
yeah,
red flags be there, and it's like ding ding, ding ding. I think as you get older, that's when the sounds come
mm,
louder.
yes, they do,
Because
girl.
you didn't experience some stuff, and now you know this is what it is. But when you're younger, it's like, I
Yeah,
heard a little something in the faint background, but I'm just gonna ignore
exactly.
that for a minute, you know?
Lack of life experience.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Who do you go to at a young age because all of your young friends are going through the same phase?
Mm-hmm.
Better call
A
your
lot
mom
of
or your
times,
dad.
older women before you don't tell you the nitty gritty about the stuff to come.
Yeah.
It's not
Girl,
shared because some of these people are still in marriages that they've been in for 50, 40 years, and they
yeah,
don't tell you about all of the hardship that they went through to finally get to a little piece of sanity
true.
or a little piece of peace.
Yeah,
You know?
girl. Listen, I educated my son quick. As soon as
Hmm.
he started talking, I mean, I love that him and I have that close relationship where
Hmm.
he'll bring up something. I'm like, she said, what? Oh, no. Let me tell you something about this. Like, I'm ready to school him. Like, don't fall for the okey doke.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
that girl done lied to you.
Oh yeah.
you know, um, I'm not going to have my son out there looking like Boo Boo the Clown. Like, I'm going to make sure that he's educated. He knows how to spot certain things in a
Mhm.
relationship.
Oh yeah.
Um, I think more of us need to teach our children, obviously when they get to the right age, but
Oh yeah.
we need to make the next generation better than us.
Oh yeah.
Because
Hmm.
our parents, they weren't trying to school us on anything. They were like, go to school, get good grades, get a job. That was it. Nina and Micheline. Hey, ladies. Um, Khalees said, keep an eye out for those sneaky shoulders to lean on. Yeah. I feel like it's fly paper or something. They trying to catch you.
Oh yeah.
Nina said, too crazy. I was going to make a post sort of about this today. See, girl, we was on the same page.
Hmm.
Glenda, she got some points today. Let's do this. That's where the internet comes to play. The minute you start posting about your issues of your relationship online, you have bias because there are people chiming into a relationship. They have no idea what's really going on. So
Hmm.
you have, sorry, I got to scroll down. So you have a bunch of strangers telling you about your shit, are and some are ready to be the replacement. At that point, you gotta go. Yeah. Think of how many of us post on social media about our relationships. Like, you don't see me post about my relationship. All I be saying is, I love that man. I
Hmm.
do. I do love that man. But you ain't gonna know no intricates of my
Hmm.
relationship. I mean, because I'm not trying to let anybody come in between this. Like,
Hmm.
no, we're good.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
a woman, you know? But you got to think what you project out, like you're inviting in.
Oh,
So, you know,
yeah. And
put that
people can see it
bullhorn
a mile
down.
away. You
Yeah.
know, like this. I seen a documentary about a pimp,
Mm.
and he said he could spot the people he could turn out a mile away
Mm. See?
of what they project. You
Yes,
know.
exactly right. Exactly. How are you holding yourself?
Hmm.
Pierre says, if my wife said she's going to the store and be back later, do you trust her to be at the store or do you have faith that she is at the store? Now, I really don't know whether she's actually went to the store, but if she says she's at the store, I don't have trust. I have faith. So I'm not home wondering if she went or not. Um, unless your behavior or your actions say otherwise. I agree. Listen, uh, if you feel like you cannot trust your partner, if that question has to rise up, like, but did you really go to the store? I'm gonna call you in about 10
Mhm.
minutes and you better be there. Like up on somebody, you are doing too much. Like, move on in life. You're better off single.
Mhm.
Why are you having to check up on the next person? Like,
Mhm.
my man leaves out and he'll be like, babe, I'm going to the store. All right, bye. See you later.
Mhm.
Be safe. Uh,
Because you don't know if he going to the store or not. That's what he told you, and you think,
yeah.
okay,
I
I'm gonna
mean,
believe it.
I know he went to the store, but
Mhm.
we have good communication. I
Mhm.
don't believe that he's going anywhere else. He
Mhm.
might stop somewhere else along the way, but then when he
Mhm.
gets home, he's like, oh, babe, sorry, it took me so long. I stopped, blah, blah,
Mhm.
blah, 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 blah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, uh, maybe I'm a little bit worse at stating because he knows, like, when I say I'm going to the store, I'm like, oh, babe, I'll be back in a half an hour. And he's like, yeah, right, you'll be back in 2 hours. I, it's just me. I go to one store and then I'm like, oh, wait, look at this store over here. They got a sale, and it's 2 hours later shopping. But we're pretty open about it. If you got a question, again, why? Why? Why are you there? Um, Glenda said another thing is people have different types of relationships also. That's where we brought up the polygamy.
Mhm.
Swingers. Swingers
Oh,
are out there. Uh, I mean, swingers is for some people. It might not be for all, but if you're upfront about that,
mhm.
why can't you be upfront about something else? I mean, there's
Mhm.
there's somebody for everybody.
Oh yeah.
If you feel like you want something new every once in a while, like
Mhm.
every once in a while we go out and buy a new shirt.
Mhm.
Maybe every once in a while you want some new vagina or you want some new penis. I mean, spice it up a little bit.
Mhm.
Why can we not have that type of conversation as
Mhm.
adults? I mean,
That goes into communication and know what you want when you first get into the relationship.
exactly.
And it is important the communication because you got to let each other know this is what I like, this is what I don't like, this is what I might like.
Exactly. You
Mhm.
got to talk those selling points. And 9 times out of 10, if you are interested in doing something different in the relationship, I mean, maybe your
Mhm.
partner is also interested. Society has us brainwashed where,
Mhm.
certain things are just not acceptable or
Mhm.
not even talked about. I think, again, it comes back to talking it out in a relationship.
Oh yeah.
Um, I mean, may you lose that relationship? It's a possibility, but you
Mhm.
should have known who you got involved with. You should know you know, um, how much your partner may be interested. It might be a thought. I mean,
Mhm.
I think a standard in most relationships is like, are you into threesomes? That's usually one of those topics that's talked about in a relationship.
Mhm.
If your partner's into a threesome, lo and behold, they might just want something different every once in a while. And are you willing to appease that?
Mhm.
Those are the deal breakers you need to discuss in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Sometimes I want a sister wife. Does
yes,
somebody come in
girl.
and clean this kitchen besides me?
Listen, sometimes that threesome might just play a different part. Like, oh, you got the cooking and the cleaning? All right, let me go to this job and make this money real quick. I'll be home later. Maybe we all need a sister wife. I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Pierre said, Tina, you trusted your man, but you still rampage through his belongings. Explain that emotion or mindset. Oh, sorry, Pierre. Let me be more clear about that. I rummaged through my first long relationship.
Mm-hmm.
That man gave me many reasons to rummage through his things. My
Mm-hmm.
current relationship, we've been together over 6 years now.
Mm-hmm.
We've been friends for 9 years. I've never had any kind of feeling to want to go through any of his things. Like, I really trust that man. So, um, I had that. I don't know where it came from, maybe because I spent some time to myself, but
Mm-hmm.
came to the table with a dirty slate. Like, I didn't carry over feelings from the last relationship to the new relationship. I've talked about some of my thoughts and feelings and saying, like, if I see something like this, that's a deal breaker. Like,
Oh,
I am not going to tolerate this. I ain't going for that.
mm-hmm.
I've talked about that in the beginning of a relationship, but Dwayne, I don't go through none of his stuff. Like, no. Like, sometimes I don't even wash his clothes. He washes his own damn clothes. I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, this is one less thing I have to do. Like, I don't question.
But you
I have,
garnered like a respect for him.
I have
So
a
the respect
huge
for him made
respect.
you feel at ease and comfortable.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
100%. I can't say that exists in every relationship because I've been on both ends of the spectrum already.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Micheline said most of the times we missed the signs at the beginning. Uh, some of them on some of them on 50 years together and still don't have peace. The,
Right.
this is true. This
And
is true.
holding on just to hold on or for comfortability or financial reasons, you know.
Yeah. If you're living in a mansion, did you want to give up that mansion because you were
Mm-hmm.
sleeping with the pool boy?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. So you slept with the pool boy, but you know what? In the end, if you get caught, you're still losing the mansion. So
Uh-huh.
how do you want to screw yourself today? But
And it goes back to again the how did they cheat? Because you look at somebody like Beyonce, and I was gonna say a legend, but Jay-Z admitted he cheated.
mm, yes,
And
yes,
what kind of cheat did he do that she still wanted to stay there? Was it
exactly.
it, I guess is how disrespectful you got with the cheat. Did you have
Mm,
somebody in my bed? You know,
yeah,
or
this is
was
true.
it emotional and you invested like almost like if you had a separate family,
Yeah,
or was it
you know,
just we just screwed and that was it? You know.
exactly. I mean, when you have a financial empire that you've built together,
Mm-hmm.
do overlook the mishap?
Mm-hmm.
Was it a one time? Do you break it off when you found out it wasn't a one time? Wasn't a one off? Do you just call it quits at that point? When you have things together,
Oh.
um, a lot of these articles that I was looking through, I noticed that married people
Mm-hmm.
will be more accepting
Mm-hmm.
to infidelity than a, a cohabiting couple.
Oh yeah.
you know um there's a lot involved when you're breaking up a marriage,
Oh yeah.
and who gets the house,
Mm-hmm.
is somebody getting alimony, who gets the
Mm-hmm.
kids, who gets the dog,
Y'all still get medical?
exactly.
How
Girl,
much they cost you on your medical coverage?
we need the medical, and we gonna keep that. I'm gonna get this lawyer to make sure we keeping that.
Yeah.
you know but um when you have that empire built together, is it worth it to break it up, or are you accepting? Um, if it's on an emotional level, do you give in to possibly bringing a third person into the
Mm-hmm.
relationship to make it a happy home? Do you
Mm.
stay just because you have kids?
Ooh,
But then
that's a big one.
what are the kids witnessing throughout
Mm-hmm.
this infidelity? Because sometimes some of those arguments can get pretty heated and pretty loud, and
Mm-hmm.
now are we coming full circle, and now the children are learning this behavior, and
Mm-hmm.
what's okay and what's not. Because,
Mm-hmm.
mommy stayed or daddy stayed in this relationship.
Right.
I guess it's not so bad.
Right. Especially when you, I, I hate to separate the sexes, but especially sometimes when you're raising girl children, and it's like if you're accepting, I'm not okay. I got to rephrase that. Not accepting. If you're being cheated on or
Yeah.
being a victim of domestic violence, is a lot of times learned behavior, not consciously, but it's
Yeah.
learned behavior, and then as you get older, is an accepted behavior.
Mm,
You know.
exactly. I I can say, um, being a very young age, my dad, infidelity must have been his middle name. Um, girl, my dad had like the half circle bed with the half
Oh Lord.
circle mirror on the
You know, tell us
ceiling.
your dad was a freak.
Right, my dad was a freak. Yes. I don't want to know what was going on in there, but I saw women coming and going all of the time. And
Hmm.
sometimes one would leave out and the next one would come in, or, be sitting on the couch waiting for the last one to leave. Um,
Oh,
I witnessed a lot of that, but to me, it didn't have a bearing on my life where I found that acceptable. You
hmm
know, I knew it was something I didn't want in my life, but sometimes I guess you gotta go through the motions. I accepted that really long relationship of infidelity for so long, but maybe I accepted it because I felt alone.
hmm
I didn't have that support. I felt like if I left and tried to be on my own, I wouldn't have been able to survive. We had an empire together and I wasn't willing to break that up,
hmm
and we had a family. So I stayed. Never again, I'll tell you that. Never again. Deal breakers. Uh
Yeah. These are
Glenda,
good questions.
sorry, what were you saying?
Some good statements here.
Girl, I know, right? I've been, like, when do I jump in? Glenda has said, trust doesn't automatically happen. The other person has to show you a reason that you can trust them. There is always a situation where you're like, yo, he, she really had my back in a difficult situation. And the trust is built when your partner maintains it. This is true. Sometimes when you have that friendship before the relationship, you get to witness that person in action.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they always say it's so important that you be friends before lovers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Khalees says, men are not mind readers. Tell me what's wrong and we can figure out a solution. True, true. Sometimes this comes back to what we've been saying all along. You gotta have these conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, if you never said, hey, let's try swinging, how's your
Mhm.
partner gonna know that you into new dick? Like, I mean, why not bringing up as a conversation?
Oh yeah.
There's nothing wrong with bringing it up. And then at that point, hey, this is going to work. Or, well, I guess I'm just going to be stepping out and doing more stuff over here. Like, give that person the opportunity to
Mm-hmm.
be on the same page as you. You never
Oh
know
yeah.
what it'll bring you.
Oh, these next questions leads into our next thing about forgiveness and moving on.
Yeah.
Let's see, Micheline.
Uh, hold on. Sorry. I had to scroll down. Micheline said, by the time you start questioning everything, it's time to go. Yes. Yes. That's why you got to start in the beginning. We wait too late to
Mm-hmm.
say something or to speak on things. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? I think this generation was just lost because we ain't have nobody to teach us any better,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of us were out doing dirt before social media. So social media now can make you or break you.
Oh yeah. Like I just seen your picture with so and so on so and so. Like
For
people
real.
make crazy mistakes like that.
Yeah. Or why is this
Somebody
person,
tagged you in another photo with somebody else.
yes, or why is this person always putting hearts on your photos, or,
Yeah.
always making a comment. You wasn't so clear that you was in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
you know Pierre said, no, you don't know, it's not absolute. Khalees said, if she gives somebody head, it's a Reynolds wrap, pack it up.
Oh, Lord.
Listen, sometimes oral is a deal breaker. I mean, why was you not over here giving all that loving? I'm just saying. Josie said, I get the house. Yes, mama. Glenda replied to Khalees, now that's funny. Yes. Micheline said, I know people who stayed till the kids are 18. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you stay because it's the right thing to do? The kids are too young to understand the breakup. You want a happy home?
Mm-hmm.
How happy
Yeah.
is the home? Pierre said, but didn't the Bible say trust no man? But what about that woman? Because some of them you can't trust either. I mean,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Now you got some devils out there.
yeah, some of these women out here. Pierre said, guess I'm back to faith. I want to touch on something that Keisha, I had sent you that article, right? So
Uh-huh.
they were saying, I want to go up here because they had said something about women, that in the last 20 years, infidelity among women has increased by 40%. How
Mm.
crazy is that, right? So but they also stated the percentage of men has kind of remained steady. So
Mm-hmm.
men cheat, cheat, cheat. We're just still doing the same thing. And then
Mm-hmm.
women were like, wait a minute, I'm
Mm-hmm.
out here doing this too. Like, let me get
Mm-hmm.
on board. I need to get on this.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's speculated. This is what was written. It
Mm-hmm.
is speculated that women making more money in the workforce,
Mm-hmm.
um, they have less of an economic consequence in the divorce. It's
Mm-hmm.
less severe if the woman is
Mm-hmm.
caught cheating.
Uh-huh.
Possibility. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it also depends on, is the woman the moneymaker? I mean, she
Mm.
might have to pay some alimony. I don't know. um, but how crazy is that? That women have stepped out more in the last 20 years. Like,
But this has changed too. Because you got to think about economics. You got to think about the workforce. Like there was ladies that just stood at home and
mm,
before, and then now they coming into the workforce working and doing different things.
yeah, this is true. I mean, that whole feminist movement,
Mm-hmm.
we asked for equal rights. Well, I guess we're trying to get our equal rights. It's okay to cheat.
Way.
you know but the LA Intelligence Detective Agency, right, they got down to the nitty gritty. Now, I don't know who the people are that they asked, but they asked quite a few people, and here's some of the feedback that they had. Right, they said that 30 to 60% of married couples will cheat at least once in the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a high percentage.
Mm-hmm.
74% of men
Mm-hmm.
and 68% of women
Mm-hmm.
admit that they would cheat if there was a guarantee that they'd never get caught.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't even have that urge. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're like not happy emotionally or sexually, like,
Mm-hmm.
trade them in for a new model. There's a new model out there. I mean, if you got to go younger, go younger. I don't know. Whatever you're into.
That's because you've come into your own already. You got comfortable. You like when you had your other relationship, you got had a time to heal. A lot of
Yeah.
times people don't have time to heal. And then they go to the next relationship and then it's like the trust issues, I guess the faith issues, faith
Yes.
trust, whatever you want to call it. Because I do that trust word for me is almost like the loyalty word for me. It's kind of
Mm.
like almost like PS said, don't have no trust in no one.
For real.
I'm a believer when I have the faith that you're gonna do the right thing. I have the faith that you're gonna do the right thing, or the respect. We supposed to have a mutual respect for each other
Yeah.
to do the right thing,
Exactly.
you know.
Exactly. Like that's my whole thing. Like, what was the purpose of you get like so let's just talk about your compulsive
Mhm.
cheaters, right? Those that are just
Mhm.
constantly cheating over and over again. It's just like I feel like it's in their DNA.
Yes.
So for them, if you feel the need to constantly have something new in your life, um why did you bother to get into a relationship?
Mhm.
Again, are you needing your stability, which is your
Mhm.
cake,
Mhm.
and a different flavor of the week
Uh-huh.
uh, is when you're eating it?
Mhm.
No pun intended, maybe. But, you know, why? Why
Mhm.
are you getting into that relationship? If you are that compulsive cheater, why are you not just leading with that? Like you
Mhm.
can find a relationship where this your significant other will be okay with that occasional step out because they're probably going to be occasionally stepping out,
Mhm.
or again, swinging comes into topic.
Mhm.
You can be a couple that goes out and frolics around with other people. They have groups for that.
Oh
You
yeah.
and it doesn't just have to be one couple. Like some settings, there's like a whole bunch of couples, and you just kind of move from room to room, see whatever tickles your fancy.
Mhm.
And then you come back to your partner like, hey, how you doing? And, it might boost the sex drive, and you still get that stability. You can still have a family together. You got
Oh yeah.
your life insurance and your
Mhm.
health insurance and
Mhm.
a house, like you can still be stable. Why not have that conversation?
Oh yeah.
I don't get it. you know, um, Khalees said that if I tell you what's wrong and you have no intentions of meeting halfway, is that a green light?
Hmm.
Is it a green light? I mean, is that a green light to go ahead and cheat? Or are you just not the person for me? I mean,
Mhm.
I listen, to each his own. Each relationship is different.
Mhm.
Um, you know, you may be cheating to get back at your significant other, cheat for a cheat, you know?
Mhm.
Um, or you might just have an overactive sex drive.
Mhm.
I don't know. But again, I think you have to remove yourself from the situation. What is your self esteem looking like? Why do you feel the need to be out here with this one and that one and the other one? Go
And
figure.
you have to look at when the person is you're telling them what's wrong and they're not understanding. Why are they
Mhm.
not understanding? Do you need outside counsel to get help to say, okay, we're not communicating right? Their love language is this, my love language is that.
Yeah.
So, you know, why we're not understanding each other. I don't
Correct.
think it's the exact green light. It might be just that you guys not understanding each other, and you might need a mediator to come in and help you understand. Not a friend, not a not a
Not
male a friend of the opposite sex, not a female friend of the opposite sex, but maybe go to a counselor or
counseling.
something. You know?
Counseling. Hey, listen,
Mm-hmm.
I think we all have such a negative view of counseling. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not because you have mental issues. I mean, it's just
Mm-hmm.
because you need someone to mediate between the two of you. You
Mm-hmm.
have to reach a common ground sometimes. I'm all for couples
Mm-hmm.
counseling. Sometimes you might need, counseling for just yourself. You might have gone through something in life,
Oh yeah.
like we'll go back to Jashika's comment earlier where she said, you might have been through something in a relationship that you emotionally cannot trust again.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, maybe you seek out a counselor, get those feelings out, kind
Oh
of
yeah.
like you gotta hit the reset button on
Mhm.
yourself, you
Oh
know?
yeah.
Um, I with Khalees, you have to be sexually compatible. A mediator sounds like a swing. That's a possibility. I mean, if your counselor's understanding, maybe you bring him in. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
um, but with cheating, like I want to make uh, a statement about some of the older generations, right? So, um, let's look back at our grandparents when their significant other passed away. Some of I'd say the majority of our grandparents stayed single.
Mhm.
They
Mhm.
didn't mingle anymore. They weren't on Christian.com or
Mhm.
trying to find the new relationship. It
Yeah.
was just like I had the love of my life. We
Mhm.
lived our life. Now they're gone. I'm staying single. They didn't bother to get out there into another relationship. Or even if they divorced,
Mhm.
they just decided, like, I'm good all by
Mhm.
myself.
Mhm.
What made our generation different? You
Hmm.
know, what
That's a
made
good
our
question.
generation different that the numbers have peaked with us and this new generation? I mean, they're just frolicking all over the place. They put us to shame. But you know what has changed? What has made it more appealing
Mhm.
to go out there and cheat?
Mm.
I think that's a good question. Chime
Yeah.
in on that one. What have our prior generations not passed down to us? What was that secret that they didn't
Mhm.
share with us to a good relationship or to minimize the need for cheating?
Mhm.
you know Although I did find out that my grandfather, he was out there getting busy. He had kids that we didn't even know about till like literally this year. It took till 2021 to find out that we had other relatives we never knew about. So
Maybe
I guess,
that's something too. It was more tolerated by the woman then, where it's not. I don't. I don't think it's that much of a difference. Maybe a little bit of a difference now with the toleration of the cheating,
yeah.
but I don't think it's changed significantly. You know, I think us women still accept if they cheat, we would still accept them back, and especially depends on circumstances, what you've seen growing up,
Yeah.
even your comfortability circumstances of being financially stable, having your kids stable, all
Yeah.
those play a big part. And I'm trying to find out, do you think signs of cheating is different when you first started dating? Like, could you tell the signs of someone that's going to be unfaithful when you
Mm.
first start dating, or does it get into, let's say, you 3 and 4 years down the line, those signs change? You know, like when you first start dating, it could be something like he's not calling me back as much as he used to, or he's not texting me as much as he used to. You
Yeah.
know, and then when you 5 and 6 years down the line,
Hmm.
what are those signs like? You
Yeah.
know,
Well,
is
I
it,
think. Go ahead.
I'm like, is it he say he going to the store, then 2 hours later, you're like,
Mm.
okay, you only have a bag of chips. What took you 2 hours to find the bag of chips? What signs are different?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think the difficult part is, in the beginning of a relationship, you're not living together, so
Mhm,
you only get so much of this
mhm,
person's time, which allows them the ability to, have choices, have options out
mhm,
there, and when you finally do move in together,
mhm,
um, again, we're not having the right conversations, but when you're finally living together, it's kind of like you're now relearning that person again.
Mm-hmm.
because you're merging your lives together. So do you really know the signs to look for when you're now cohabiting? I I I wouldn't know what to look for at first.
Mm-hmm.
It's new behavior.
Mm-hmm.
It might take, and I guess in Micheline's case where she was saying, by the time you find out, it's time to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah.
you know, sometimes it might take a couple of years to find out that your significant other has been cheating on you with somebody else
Mm-hmm.
because listen, um, not every relationship moves fast.
Mm-hmm.
You might be in that dating phase and that might last, 5 years before you decided to move in together and get married.
Oh yeah.
So you can easily be 7, 8 years into a relationship before you found out
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the only woman,
Oh
or
yeah.
this chick is sleeping with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Like what? It could take that amount of time. What are the things that you're supposed to look for? If you're supposed to be going on trust and faith,
Mm-hmm.
how do you know when to recognize the signs?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. That's an. I guess that brings us to that thing is when do you decide to move on or forgive?
This is true. This is
You know,
true. I
it's.
mean, when the cheating rears its ugly head, you
Mm-hmm.
got to make a decision at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Are
Oh
you
yeah.
going to say we're going to work through this,
Mm-hmm.
um, and lay down the law,
Mm-hmm.
or are you going to be like, well, then you got to go. Your shit's already out on the stoop. Like you have to make a decision at that point. you know.
Oh yeah.
Um, Kalisa is liking pics on social media cheating. I mean, is it? I mean, you could put the little heart, but if you're going overboard and, now you add in like a whole bunch of other things afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
why why are you paying so much attention to that one person? I guess it depends on what you're posting,
Oh
you
no.
know. Some relationships I've realized when two people get into a serious relationship,
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden they disappear from social media. Kind of like
Mm-hmm.
they banned each other from going on social media
Oh yeah.
to rule out that added temptation.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, we didn't do that in our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Both of us are on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're social media whores. Like I mean, y'all see what I post, so I'm like, oh, I'm liking this and I'm liking that, and I'm over here and I'm over there.
Uh-huh.
I guess that's where the trust and the faith come and play a part, right?
Oh yeah.
What about you guys? Are you guys on social media like that?
Oh, my significant other. Mm-mm. Not at all. He's not on social media at all. Me, I'm a voyeur on social media, so I'm on there, but I'm not. I do comment to people posts, but I
Yeah,
don't, and I say little things here and there.
got you.
Yeah,
Gotcha. So you're just a wallflower,
basically. Most of the time.
the creeper in the background. Pierre says, I'm not forgiving shit. And I don't blame you. I mean, listen, I was young and dumb and I forgave a lot.
Mhm,
Why? Like I look back like, who was I?
mhm,
But yeah, nowadays, deal breakers. Deal breakers. You learn a lot over time, and maybe it's learning to stand on your own too and knowing your worth.
mhm.
Do we all know our worth?
Oh yeah.
That's a point too. Just throwing
Oh
that out
yeah.
there. Khalees said, who cheats more, men or women? According to the statistics that I found,
Come on, Tina. Come on with it. Tell them what. Tell them.
men do cheat more than women. And
Mm-hmm.
it's more so because it's kind of and this was across the world. They looked at they did these surveys across the world,
Mm-hmm.
and they had said um, that it is, in some places, it is socially accepted
Mm-hmm.
for men to cheat or cause infidelities more than women.
Mm-hmm.
I did. Oh, where is it? I know I had touched. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Finland. So get this, right? In Finland, um, it is accepted
Mm-hmm.
for people to hold multiple relationships at once. They call it parallel relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of it. But in Finland, apparently, it is socially accepted.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live in Finland. I'm good. But if you were looking to have multiple relationships at the same time, you might want to
Mm-hmm.
move to Finland. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
you know, but yes, men do cheat more than women.
Oh yeah.
Uh, and it is another crazy part is, like, you always think that people cheat because they're in a bad relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Statistics show, and I'm quoting,
Mm-hmm.
56% of men and 34% of women who commit infidelity um, rate their marriages as happy or very happy.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, something like this makes cheating a little bit harder to comprehend.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in such a happy relationship, why are you stepping out again? What is it that you're not getting? Is it that you're looking for emotional comfort and
Mm-hmm.
maybe your partner doesn't share in their feelings as much?
Oh yeah.
um are you into S&M and some freaky shit and your partner is not, so you're
Mm-hmm.
looking elsewhere to fulfill that fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
Prostitutes, I mean, they come into play, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
um I don't understand. There,
Mm-hmm.
people are happy but
Mm-hmm.
still out there doing dirt. Is in our DNA? Is it
Mm-hmm.
part of our makeup? Like, are we just meant to be like dogs? Like, look at dogs. Dogs are just out there humping anything and everything. They don't
Mm-hmm.
care.
Oh yeah.
Rabbits. Well, no, I think rabbits actually stay with each other, but they're just constantly humping. Um, but you know, what are the reasons? Who knows? Who knows? There's got to be more research done on this.
Oh yeah. Definitely more research because I'm trying to figure out, and you see people and you experience certain things and you're like, that didn't make sense to do that. I'm pretty sure Beyonce was putting down her best with Jay-Z.
You know, for real. Like,
Was she Beyonce?
Beyonce. Maybe she's not freaky enough. Maybe Sasha Fierce didn't come out enough and he had to go elsewhere. I don't know.
Or maybe he liked the Becky with the good hair. I don't know. He was like, I want Becky over here.
Hey, listen, to each his own. He might be into something different every once in a while. I don't know.
Oh
Maybe he just can't kick old habits. I don't know.
yeah.
Khalees said women physically and emotionally. Yeah. I mean, it is true. I mean, there is a small percentage of men that it is more of a emotional
Mm-hmm.
state, but women
Mm-hmm.
identify more with our emotions. Men are kind of like, blinders are up when it comes to emotions. You're taught to be, I gotta be the breadwinner and I can't be all in my feelings and I gotta be the tough one. So men, and that's something that I did read up on, they stated that men, it's more of a physical thing. They are visually attracted
Mm-hmm.
to cheat, as women are more emotionally geared to cheat.
And then when they emotionally get to cheat, that emotions then becomes physical, but it's not straight physical at first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's emotional at first because maybe if they was with someone and they weren't getting what they needed emotionally,
Yeah.
or the respect, like I play a lot on respect or the respect that they needed, then that's when they go find someone emotionally who would probably respect them, and then it might turn physical. But
Yeah.
most of the time, always first emotionally, then physical with women. Men
Exactly.
physical at first,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly.
and maybe they get their nose open and it becomes emotional later, you know.
Exactly. You know, she done turned him out. And he's like, I need this every day.
She's my wife now, you know.
Man, Pierre said, who do they cheat with?
Other woman.
I mean, well, I don't know who they cheat with. I mean, maybe some of them men are stepping out with other men. I don't know. You know, do and maybe that's another question. Do men consider their woman when they step out with another woman? Is
Mm-hmm.
that considered cheating?
Mm.
You know, how does a man view that? Do you view that as opportunity?
Yeah,
Or,
that's how they're gonna view it.
or that your woman cheated on you and you're like, bitch, you gotta go. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how is that perceived? Because I
Mm-hmm.
know women that you know, and maybe I should say for women,
Mm-hmm.
if your man is stepping out with another man, how do you view that? Like, is that the deal breaker? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it'd be one thing if it was another female, but you stepped out with another man, like you hurt my feelings. You know, was I not good enough?
Mm-hmm.
So I would, man, that's a question for the ages. Like, how would you feel? Is this opportunity?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the woman is into two guys and you know maybe you just made her day. I don't know, but how is that perceived? Is it cheating? um is it inviting?
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to hear those comments. Please comment down below. Pierre said, excuse the vagueness, but who do, oh, okay, got you. Pierre said that's why she had to go. She's connected emotionally. Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's possible that you could be with someone that doesn't have your heart,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
um you know, dude, how many people out there cheated with their ex?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I know some of those too, like
I don't go back. I don't go backwards. I try to go forwards.
for real. I ain't got no side mirrors, I ain't got no rear view mirror, all I see is what's in front. That is it. I'm not like, I wonder.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
we're good. Been
but
there, done that. I've moved on.
yeah, but even with men, Pia said if it was emotionally, even with men, even if it was physically, just physically, men is like it's a done deal.
Mm,
Done deal.
yeah,
They
true.
can't handle it. They can't handle it mentally. They can't wrap their minds around that she cheated with someone physically. You know,
Exactly. Exactly. You know, and then comes the idea of who is that person envisioning every time they have sex with you now? Is
and
it
it's
you?
fun. Yeah, and it's funny. Some men cheat. Like this is the strangest thing, Tina. Today I ran into a guy owns a gas station over here. Oh, I shouldn't be saying that, but you never know who watching.
Yeah, right?
I ran into somebody today
Yeah.
who was calling the police to report a lady that he was cheating on.
Oh, wow.
Because
Okay.
he was cheating with her on his wife.
Wow.
And he was trying to explain to me that the lady was psycho. She's a stalker. And I think what got him to the point of, because he says she was calling him 50 million times. I show you the phone. Proceeded to show me the phone. I'm like, look, man, I don't want to see your phone.
You
But
know, I don't want no parts.
I think he thought he could get away with it. And
Mm.
what happened was she was showing, I guess he sent some photos, and she was showing all the people in India, his family, some family members and stuff, photos.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
that's when it got crazy.
Yeah.
It's like,
Okay.
oh, I am caught. The
You know,
family is now pressuring me. Her family sees, you know,
man.
and it's just so ironic that I ran into this person today, and we're having this show on cheating. I just had to
You
mention
know? Meant to be. Meant to be.
that. Yes, I should have videotaped him on the slide just to show you how animated he was.
Hilarious. Oh man. Oh, Carolina chimed in. She said, I saw a show one time where a group of men slept with each other, but didn't consider it cheating since it was with other men and went off on their merry way to their wives and normal lives. They called it poker night. Oh my God. She said, it's it's fiction, but I'm guessing it could happen. No,
But
listen, I I read in Essence magazine years ago. I want to say like maybe 2010 or something like that. Um, I had read that there is a statistic of undercover men that go out there and they are curious and getting it on with other men, and then they go home to their wives like nothing ever happened. It happens more frequent than it's stated,
oh
you know,
yeah,
more frequent than it's known. So if your man is buying tubs of Vaseline or that extra KY jelly or anal ease and ain't using it on you, you might want to question that. Just saying. These are the factors that you should be looking for.
mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Um, I don't know. This was an interesting conversation.
oh yeah.
I think a lot of points were brought up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to drag out this show, but cheating. We all have different standards of what is cheating, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the moral to this story is you need to have that conversation
Mm-hmm.
with your potential significant other
Oh
in the
yeah.
beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, you need to state what are deal breakers. You need to state what are you into and what you may consider.
Oh yeah.
And some things that are complete turnoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We need to start communicating about this in the beginning of these relationships. And I think the
Mm-hmm.
numbers would go down on cheating. It
Oh
would
yeah.
just be down to the compulsive cheaters that feel the thrill. They get something out of, you know, different flavor of the week.
Oh yeah. Because everybody has a different tolerance level, and like you said, you have to try to communicate some things. And if it does, the cheating does happen, try to communicate why it happened, and if it's worth us staying together after it happened. You
Correct.
know, so yeah, it all rolls down to tolerance. What you can
Correct.
tolerate, what you can't.
Yes. Yes. So, um, I think this was a good talk, right, Keisha?
Oh yeah, that's pretty good. And
This
we
was
can have
fun.
some part twos from some of these things. You know how it
Sure.
affects the kids.
Yes,
How to get
definitely.
over a broken heart.
Yes.
Red flags of cheating.
Yes.
Check. This is a red flag. That's a red flag. You know.
I'm gonna have to look into this more.
Yeah. So some of our younger ladies and older ladies that didn't learn yet
That's the truth, you
can
know.
start seeing the red flags. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. Since you said older people,
Mm-hmm.
I do want to state one other fact that I found that I thought it was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, apparently, for there's a lot of infidelity that goes on with people of older age.
Mm.
Um, they said that infidelity is more common in ages 50 to 70 years old. That was from the Institute for Family Studies.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, 26% of men from age 70 to 79, and
Mm-hmm.
16% of women that were age 60 to 69. So,
Mm.
yeah, they freak on too. Nursing homes are going crazy.
Yeah, knocking on each other's door in the senior citizen building.
Yeah, I got something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Infidelity in my older years. Oh man. Well, we're definitely gonna have some of these takeaways from this conversation. Future episodes to come.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow we can post up what our next episode is going to be about. So
Oh,
please
yeah.
stay tuned for that. Um, and I definitely want to say thank you. Thank you for participating. Thank you for all of the listeners, the watchers. This was a fun conversation. I really enjoyed it.
All righty.
All
Take
right,
care,
guys.
guys.
You guys take care. Till next episode. Love y'all. Bye.